Hello, welcome back to Voice Notes, a live journal where I talk things related to a resolute mind. Thanks for joining in. Today's topic is titled Productivity and Goal Setting. Now, I must say right now that this is not going to be a typical or standard talk on productivity or on goal setting. I remind myself that my life's course actually looks pretty different to how one would expect his life to run. I do not run a typical track in this life course. In fact, my life may seem a great deal out of order. I have nothing to present. I can be very well viewed to be a failure in many regards, in most to all quadrants or facets of this life. So, I'm not going in this direction. My talk borrows from the non-conformist approach. So let's talk productivity. Flat out, I can say, because I have little material to show for what I have done with my life, I may be strongly viewed as the unproductive type, the very, might I say, barren one. In other words, I am not actually that productive in the eyes of this world. I do not conform. So, should I be ashamed, embarrassed, angry, frustrated for not being productive, even if I tried? In truth, there was a time when I felt all these emotions, especially in very social situations. My lack of not being able to do anything naturally led me to a place of isolation and disconnect. Physically, I could do, but I could not actually do. Has anyone been locked up in the spiritual prison of life? Most would not understand my life story, so I'm not even going to bother to explain. Who knows, knows. Who knows how one becomes easily silenced in their prison. But why am I raising this up? Because it raises for me a very salient point. For each one life, productivity has very different meanings. Because I'm outside of the cycle of life, what I deem to be very productive may seem to the outer world as soft or lazing around. And this is where it gets interesting. For the many blocks in my life, I have no choice but to focus my productivity internally. I have no choice but to focus on working on products, effects, and outcomes that cannot be seen with the physical eyes, lest that also be destroyed, plundered, and whatever else. I have no choice but to focus solely on the internal self, that is, the inner man. My work is no longer directed to the much outer world. My only focus right now, and has been for a very long time, was always working on that inner man. This is my life's mission. Everything else just vanishes, and I'm left with myself at the end of the day. So I start off this talk by saying that productivity is not always about material gains or wins. Sometimes you can see absolutely nothing changing in your life. Your life circumstance is just not changing, and yet you must know to the self that your work is still work. In fact, the work that is not seen, the internal work, can actually bear the type of fruits that you can carry with you in this world and the one to come. This is a very important point. Most will miss this point actually, but this is a very important point. True works are works that are lasting. True works are works that survive the storms of life. True works are eternal, and so this is where the focus of productivity should actually be. And life has left a wonderful surprise. For in life's adversity and lack of chance to bear the physical fruits, life has left an open door for anyone really to produce choice fruits, the best of its kind. It is not the fruits of the world that truly feeds one. It is the fruits born of the Spirit that nourishes, and these are born out of life's misfortunes and not being able to do anything really because of the many blocks and obstacles. So what does it mean to me to be productive? To be productive is to learn through hardship. To be productive is to remain consistent and disciplined through many failures and denials. To be productive is to allow life to sustain you through the many trials. And though one may think, how unfortunate, after all the work put in, he still sees no fruits. Well, I tell the self that much fruit is made, for he has gained much wisdom, and it comes from the many lessons that life has taught him. And now I get to my main point. One can score very high on a test, but one must first make sure that it is his test for the take and not another. This is very important when considering life goals. It is important to make sure that whatever you are aiming for actually aligns with the true self. Otherwise, you will see no peace in your life. Aligning your thoughts with the inner thought makes all the difference in the world for life's fulfillment, life's true fulfillment. Now, I must say, there will be a lot of pushback and many unpleasant faces coming your way. There will be many restless nights as many persons try to talk you out of your life's main mission. And that is why it is all the more important to remain connected to the self, to be in line with the inner man. You may choose to follow another, but you may never find peace with the self. And at the end of it all, each one still has to go his own way, single and alone. I stress then the importance of sitting with the self first and trying to listen, waiting to hear your calling, waiting for the teacher, the inner teacher, to answer your burning questions. A lot of time is spent waiting until the spirit of life comes to fill you up and allow for the proper completion of all of your projects in this program of life. Life does not expect you to have it all figured out. In fact, life invites you to spend time with life itself and do life with life. All the instructions are already inside of you. All the answers are there. One only needs silence with examination of self to truly determine where he wishes to go. Now, I share this heart-to-heart message for I myself have experienced so much anxiety and fears when I once thought that I was missing out on my life because of the many blocks. I no longer fear or hold that type of insecurity, for I have found great peace in consulting life with my goals and productivity. I cannot tell you what productivity may look like for you, as my own life course may look very different to yours in all its dynamism and trajectories. So, I don't really have that much more to say, so I end on this note as I have opened up a little more about myself. And with that, I leave you for the moment until next time. Adios!